I have opened up Contessa University, and I did quick run a build, and I ran the app just to make sure it's working. And now I am going to edit the student controller. And I'm going to be adding try catch error handling. And I'm going to be doing it to create, edit, and the delete. So index is fine. And I'm going to start with create. All right, so here's my create. And the initial one that goes to the form is not the one that would be throwing a runtime error. It is the one after we did the post where they're updating the database. So right above where it's checking the model state, this is where I want to put the try, because this is where it's going to be updating the database. And then this is what I want included inside the try. So I'm going to put my closing curly brace here. And then right below that is where I need to put the catch. And so we are going to be using add model error. So that is part of the model state. I'm going to call that method. And we're going to leave the key blank, and we're just sending it an error message. And we'll say unable to save changes. Try again, and if the problem persists, see your system administrator. And let's make sure we put that semicolon on the end. Okay, so now we have our try-catch error handling. And we're going to be doing something similar in the edit. And this is the edit after it posts. So the edit's going to show an existing record. They're going to change something. They're going to submit it. And then it goes through this post code. And this is where we want our error handling, because this is where the database would actually be updated. So we are going to put in our try. And then after the database update, that's where we will put in the closing curly brace for the try and add the catch. And again, we're going to use the add model error method. And we're not going to send it any kind of a key. We're just sending it an error message. Basically, same message as before. Gotta like it when we use the same message, because then we could just copy and paste. Come on. Does not seem to like my copying paste ability here. There it is. And I'm going to put that semicolon on the end. There. For deletion, it's the delete confirmed. That is the post. So this is the one that is doing the update. And so this is the code that is making that change. So we're going to put the try right above that. And we'll put the closing curly right below that return statement. And then we're going to put our catch below. And this catch is going to be a little bit different. So we are catching a data exception. And we have to add a return here because you'll notice on the other ones, we could just add to the model because it would return to the view. This is not, okay? So we actually want to return it to that delete view. So we're going to do return, redirect to action. We want it to return to that delete view. And we're going to add a little ID to this. And we're going to indicate that there is an error. So we're setting save changes error to true. That way they know there's an error. Okay, so for this one, what we had to do was a little different because it automatically goes to the index. So if there's a problem and it didn't actually delete the record, then because it's not returning to the view automatically, we are throwing a data exception here and we are returning it to the delete view, okay, indicating there is an error. And so far, we have not been dealing with viewbag at all, but we are going to add a little error message to a viewbag, and then we will display that in the view as well, so you know how to do it that way too. So we are looking now for our regular delete. Okay, and here it is. So the delete is going to grab an ID and it's going to check to make sure it's not null. Okay, so if it's null, that means there was no ID. And right below that, we are going to check for a save changes error. Get value or default. And we've got our curlies here. viewbag.error message equals delete failed. Try again. And if the problem persists, this is our canned message. See your system administrator. All right, so this kind of corresponds to what we did down here. Okay, and we are redirecting to our delete view. And that is basically what this is doing. Now, because it's passing the ID and this save changes error, we need to modify our parameters. Okay, and so save changes error, we set to true, and that's Boolean. But we might not always have that parameter coming in, right? Because it's only going to come in if there's an error. So we have to put a question mark there because we don't know if it's going to be on every deletion. In fact, we would hope it wasn't on every deletion. Okay, so we put the question mark there, which means it may or may not be filled in. And then we've got save changes error. that we are going to set to false. So false is going to be the default. The only time it's going to be true is if there truly was a problem deleting, right? They picked a record or a row from the index and they hit delete. Then on the delete screen, they hit the delete button, so it posted. So then it comes through here. If they cannot find the record and remove it, that's when this data exception occurs and save changes error sets true. And you can see that we're going to the delete action method. So then it's going to run through here. Okay. The ID is not going to be null, okay, because we are in the middle of trying to delete something. So the ID is going to be filled in. Save changes error is going to be set to true. So it's going to run through here and set the viewbag message. Okay. And then it's going to end up going back to that delete view with our message. So you can kind of see how all of this is connected. And the last thing that we have to adjust now is our delete view, because at this point, our delete view does not know about this error message, and we need to add it. So let's go into our student folder, and we're going to open up our delete view. Okay, so basically at this point, there is nothing in here for the error message, and we need to add it. And we do want it at the top so that they know there's a problem. So right below our delete heading, that is where we're going to do a paragraph. We're going to set the class equal to error. And then in between, we're going to do at viewbag.error message. And let's save our changes. So I think we're going to change our class for the error message to text danger, because that will match what we're doing for everything else. And it is Bootstrap. So let's save that. And now we should be able to run the app. And we're not really going to be able to see the error handling unless it runs into an error, but we can make sure that everything still works. Okay, you just want to make sure when you add the error handling that you don't inadvertently break anything. So to test this, what we're going to do is add a new student. Then we are going to edit that student. And then we're going to delete. So we'll do a create new. So this is my fake student. I don't really care who you guys use for a fake student. All right, so I'm adding Pebbles Flintstone here. There she is. Let me edit. We'll just call her Peb. And oh, now we got a phone number. Let's see. Let me save. All right, and then now I'm going to delete her. Okay, so that all works. Does not appear that anything is broken. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here.